Ready to have some fun? Let's do it.
Be honest, I'm a nature freak.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. All kinds of happy little things going on. And if it doesn't make you happy, you're doing the wrong thing.
Can I share a story with you?
Just me or me and Nathan?
Oh,
You were looking at me and just like, can I share a story with you?
I'm out. I'll be back. Tell me when you're done.
Yeah, knock 3 times when you're done.
No, actually, plot twist. I'm talking to myself. So.
Jesse and I have to leave.
Sorry, guys.
Can you guys
Talking to the podcast here.
We just listen. He's like, dude, you're never going to believe this.
just me and the people.
That's good.
So I went to Payless today.
Okay.
Shoe store or the grocery store?
Grocery store.
Okay.
Kroger, basically.
Yeah, Kroger. And so I was going. All we had at our house was Sprite, and so I was like, okay, well, I want some Pepsi, I want some Coke, and so just going to real quick, run and get some pop there, and it's just me and this other guy in the pop aisle. He's an older fellow, and he seems really nice. I'm walking by him. I've already got my stuff, and I'm leaving the aisle. And he's trying to kind of leave as well. He's trying to do this U-turn thing as I'm leaving.
Oh, man.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll let him go. It's not a big deal. And he goes, no, you go ahead. He's just, being really nice, but it was a little awkward to begin with. And so I keep going, smile at him, explain, kind of have pleasantries. And I keep going. I kid you not. He's looking at me as like I'm like from where Nathan and I are. I'm like looking at him like, okay, yeah. I walk by. We're still making eye contact. He farts like you would not believe, and it's not like a quick one. It's like we're still making eye contact.
No way.
As we're smiling, as he's smiling to me, he looks at me and does that, and I just keep going. I didn't know what else to do, but I thought to myself in that moment, I've still been reflecting on this. When I'm that age, I want to have that kind of confidence.
Dude, literally. Imagine if he blew a kiss to you afterwards.
That would have been the best ending to that
At
story.
the end of it, he just winks at you and just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did it smell?
Oh, I don't know. I was out of there.
He didn't stay long enough.
I think obviously, that's probably why he let me go first. But I was amazed just by not caring enough about being in public, or just the fact you're making eye contact with another guy.
Yeah, eye contact
as you're letting him go.
Yeah,
the confidence behind that. I just wish I had that. So that's the moral of that story is what I took away, is that there's a huge lack of confidence in my life. Yeah, that obviously there's a hole there that I need to fill.
You got to figure it out. Wow.
One day, maybe I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll never be there. I've realized that as I've gotten out of college and everything, how much of a loner and antisocial, and I will wear headphones in the grocery store, and I will avoid, if there's people in aisles, I will just not go in there. I will wait, and I will pass by 5 times, and if there's people in it, I'm still, I will wait until it's I'm ready to leave, and it's fine, I guess I have to go down this aisle, but I'm just so, I don't want to deal with people. I think because also in public, people have just gotten ridiculous, no sense of where they are anymore, so things like that happen.
Dude, I actually do. There's something about going into a grocery store that gives me such anxiety.
It's stressful.
I don't have a problem being in public, but there's something about going to a store that just geeks me out, dude. If I don't know where I'm going, I'll get in my head, and I'll literally almost borderline have panic attacks when I'm just trying to shop.
Wow.
I don't know why. It's just grocery stores.
Is it people being around you guys? Does that flip you out? Thinking people are looking at you?
I think literally if I have to walk down an aisle 3 or 4 times looking for something, I'm everyone's judging me. I look like an idiot. I start flipping
as they're
out.
trying to find their own stuff that's
literally no
their
one
big
cares
time.
at all, but I'm just geek myself out really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I think that's probably a real thing. I'd like to know how many people actually get anxiety going into public places like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people that are really anxious are thankful for all the pickup things that they have now,
Bro.
the mobile ordering.
Yes.
Do you guys ever take advantage of that ever?
No, Muncie is really bad about that stuff. Every time I've ever ordered from Walmart, half the stuff they don't get for me, and so I just have not gotten to the point where I'm okay with that to not go myself. So if I only want half my order, maybe I'll do that. But it's just the pickup here is just not good.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason I actually went back to go get Pop is because we did a pickup order yesterday. Jamie and I did, and they missed certain things in it.
Yep.
So it's funny you say that because I was like, oh well, maybe this is just a fluke or something.
No, every single time.
Yeah. Do you think it's
single
like
time.
that places outside of Muncie, or do you think that Muncie is just the
I think
pitfall?
Muncie's just terrible. I think.
Wow. Okay.
Well, just like with that
yourself.
stuff, because like a lot of
765, what up?
a lot of our like me and Jake have friends and family around like Indiana, and no one else seems to have this problem like we do. My parents don't have this problem. Jake's parents don't have this problem.
Yeah.
It just seems to be local to this area, and specifically Walmart and Payless. I've not tried Meijer or anywhere like that, but maybe they're better. I don't
Well,
know if
that's
they
it
do
for
pickup.
Happy Trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I used to do that. That was I did that at Home Depot. That was my job, like order picker and stuff like that.
But I mean, on the whole anxiety thing, because I now I'm just chewing on that. Like I feel like I'm learning a lot about both of your experiences when it comes to grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Like, do you get that other places outside of grocery shopping, like public places?
Like anxiety attacks.
Well, yeah, like you walk in, you're like, oh, geez, I just want to be done with this. I want to get away from all these eyes and all these people around me. Is it just grocery shopping, or do you guys get
I feel like
that?
it's everywhere I go from
Really?
at this point. Yeah, it's so weird because in high school, like everyone who knew me would have considered me like an extrovert. In college, I don't think people would have ever thought like, oh, she's an introvert. She doesn't like people. Oh, she has anxiety and stuff. And I feel like I didn't really have that until after I graduated and went into adulthood. And I feel like maybe it's just out of insecurity because I, was thrown into adulthood not knowing how to do anything that I just like developed this anxiety around people and like doing things. But I have to like talk myself into doing almost everything that I do that's outside of my house or like even calling people. Like it takes me hours to work up myself to call someone on the phone. Like
I have that one bad. I
yeah,
hate
or even
it. Yeah.
texting. Even texting. I have to schedule out texts so that I'm not the one pressing send, that my phone sends it.
That's next level.
Yeah,
That's pretty
even if I
serious.
just schedule it for 15 minutes in the future, I don't have to be the one to press send. It gives me too much anxiety to press
Jeez.
send that I have to schedule it in the future.
She's
That's
like,
how
"Hey,
bad
Siri.
I've gotten.
Hey
Oh
Siri,
my
tell my
gosh.
mom I love her tomorrow.
Well, not stuff like that, but like people who I'm not like super, super close with.
Yeah, right.
It's really hard
Yeah.
to do that. And I think COVID also played a factor in that because, I don't know, you were just home all the time. I was still in college, but I didn't have to do anything ever, and I was just home. So yeah, I've gotten really, really bad.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Jake, I'd probably never leave my home.
Really?
Yeah. Luckily, he's a really big extrovert, so he
Yeah,
brings
for
me
sure.
out and has me do things.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
yeah. It's
Wow, that's fascinating. You said you felt like you like became an adult and like you just were unprepared for life. Is it just me, or like do you guys ever like reflect back on like high school or maybe even parts of college? But like, do you remember the stuff that you learned in high school? Because we're like late 20s now. But do you ever think back like, oh, that really prepared me for whatever in life? Or
Nothing at all.
yeah, it sounds like a
Literally
loaded
nothing.
question, but I'm
No,
curious.
very few
Yeah.
things. Like I had a few really great teachers
Yeah.
who just like cared about their students. So like, I don't know, one teacher was always like, never buy a brand new car. And that stuck with me because like that'll put you in a lot of debt. So that's why he told us that.
Yeah.
So that stuck with me and I followed that. But like everything else other than like my TV class, could not tell you like what we did.
No, not at all.
What about you, Nathan?
No, literally nothing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always what I told myself in school too. I was like, dude, who cares? You're never gonna hold on to any of this stuff at all.
It's
And
true.
Yeah,
I try
literally
to
haven't.
fight those thoughts so much because it's like, there's people that just did not care.
Dude, I gave
There's
in
always
to
going to
them.
be people, whether you're in college or high school or just life in general, they don't care. They're at bare minimum.
Yeah.
And that's like what they're saying. It's like, oh, this doesn't matter. So I try to not think about that. But then now I look back in life, what do I retain? Like, what did I retain? What do I remember
Yeah.
from,
Yeah, I feel like it's more of like going to school, whether it just be high school or going even into college, I feel like it just proves your discipline, your work ethic. It's more of things like that it's helping you with rather than like actual information. Now, college, you're actually learning, I feel like, information because you're going for a degree.
Yeah.
But like, regardless, like if someone sees that you graduate high school, they're like, okay, you had enough discipline and structure in your life to finish compared to someone who didn't even finish high school.
Yep.
Like that's same for college nowadays too. I feel like people almost think you have to have a college degree to do anything, and because it just proves you had the discipline to follow through. Not really. They don't care. You could have a degree in whatever, and they don't care.
Yeah.
It's just that you had the discipline to follow through.
Yeah.
So I think it's less about the information, but more of like that structure that it forms.
That's a good point. That's what I tell I've had that conversation with my little sister a lot. She's thinking of like school and studying and stuff like that. I was like, high school, if you weren't a great student, it's okay. Like I think really what high school does is it like prepares you for like further studies, because just like that, it teaches you discipline and stuff like that. But I literally have nothing left. And
Well, you know, something I really remember in junior year and senior year, especially going into senior year, it was such a big, like you had all these protocols and all these powwows on like what college would be, how to prepare. You know, we had something called like success courses or whatever, just to like try to prepare you for the struggles and challenges of college. But honestly, any studies I've had in college outside of, you know, the high school experience, I actually think it was more manageable, like an easier process to navigate mentally and physically. You know, like let's say you have 6 or 7 periods and all of them in high school and all of them give you homework. You could potentially have like 4 to 6, maybe even 7 different homework assignments that are due a night in a 5-day a week period.
Yeah.
Now you might have 5, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Terrible.
And so you might have 5 classes in college, but the way that their
It's
homework,
like, once or twice a week.
yeah, exactly right.
Jeez. Dude, I blacked that out. I completely forgot that much homework in high school.
And so it's like, oh, well, so-and-so's not doing their homework. Well, how are they going to make it in college? Okay, well, it's not quite the same, though.
Dude,
you know?
yeah, for real.
And so I try to really be, when I look at people that are coming up now or anyone that I've had a conversation with, I feel like I'm pretty optimistic with it, because it's like, okay, just get through that. And then, you know, I feel like anything outside of that is going to be more kind of smooth sailing.
Yeah, I agree. College work, like schoolwork wise, was so much easier to get through than high school.
Interesting.
And you actually are taking classes you care about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have to take your general education courses, whatever. But generally, you're taking classes that at least you have some kind of interest in. Like, I don't care about science. I don't care about math. So in high school, those were a struggle for me because I did not care about them.
Yeah.
Even in college, the ones that I had to take of those were a struggle because I didn't care. But all my other classes were fine.
Yeah.
Wasn't a problem.
When it comes to like relational things like friendship and like connection, communication, do you guys feel like you were able to take that from high school at least, or were you guys not that way? Were not very sociable, more introverted, more extroverted? What were you guys like?
I had literally since middle school like 3 best friends that are like still my best friends today.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. It's like, do you still have friendship from high school?
That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever needed. That's all I ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 best friends still from high school. In high school, I wasn't like a popular kid, but everyone knew me because they knew if they wanted to get in the yearbook or whatever, I would be the person to go to.
Yeah.
So I was like rarely well known in the school, and I had a couple different friend groups. But like honestly, today, I really only talk to like 2. There's a third girl who I kind of talk to, but she has a kid, so it's hard once people start getting like families and stuff to like. And she's like lives all the way across the other side of the state, so that's also difficult to like maintain relationships. But 2 girls were in my wedding from high school, so we're pretty close still.
It's so funny. Yeah, my like two of my best friends, well, all 3 of them actually have kids, but the 2 of them just had a kid, and then the other one, he has 2 kids, and literally I always like will text them to ask if they like want to go out and do stuff, and they're like, dude, I can't, I'm with my kids. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally becoming like I need to figure my life out. I'm like,
it's hard
hang out? And they're like with their kids.
I feel like the 20s, like in your 20s, it's hard because everyone.
Sorry, we're working on our mutual funds right now.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, 20s are hard because you have some people who are still going to school. Because if you're going to get like a PhD or a doctor or something, you're in school for a long time.
Yeah.
Or people are having children. People are getting married. And then you have people who aren't doing any of those things. So it's like there's just like so many different places people are in the 20s.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it really is. It's like some sort of like weird mental battlefield, because it's like, I also feel like the people that are married, that's a whole other thing as well. It's like most of the people I know that have gotten married either in their early 20s, mid or late 20s, it's like there is some unspoken rule where it's like there's almost like an expectation within the first 6 months to a year of like start having kids or whatever.
Yeah, right. Not happening for me. Just saying. I just got married.
Yeah, but it's like that's a wild thing too.
Yeah.
It's like I'd like to just enjoy some life for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're still young.
I cannot imagine having a kid. I think about it sometimes. Like my best friend, like I was sitting with him last night and I was like, dude, I cannot imagine being a father right now. Like it's kind of trippy to wild.
Yeah, I feel like no one can though until they are. Like until you are a parent, it's like hard to even fathom it. But then once you have a kid, you have like those instincts or whatever. But yeah, I don't ever want children.
Yeah, but you say that now.
Yeah.
And who knows? You won't want one until you want one. Right?
That's true, I guess. But right now, I don't for a long time.
Does Jake not want any? Like, does he want kids?
He's not responsible enough for children right now. It's true, he knows it too. And we don't have we're not like financially stable.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, if I am bringing a child into the world, I at least want to have a good life, and not to grow up poor, because that's what it would be doing right now, growing up poor. At least it would have a house, but still poor.
True.
But what about you, Caleb? We were talking about friends.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have friends from high school still?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like friend sometimes is kind of a relative term. Like, I have a lot of friends, but you don't really have friends, you know? Like, like close friends is what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people that are acquaintances.
Like, what's the definition of a friend?
Exactly.
You know?
I would say, like, my circle, like, what my actual circle is not friends from high school still. But, like, there are a small amount of people from high school that I still will, like, do some life with.
Yeah.
But, you know, not to sound a little sad or anything, but like there's a lot of friends I had that I would consider pretty close friends. And, you know, it's just like, I'm sure it is like this for a lot of people, but like outside of high school, especially like the first 3 to 5 years outside of high school, it's like everyone is trying to do different things. Some people are going to college. Some people are not. Some people are getting married. Some people are going to trade. Some people are just doing life. They're just hanging out and figuring out their life. That's cool. All the above's cool. But I think where there was a kind of a divide for me, at least, with a lot of those friends is like the things that they're doing in life are very similar to what they were doing, almost verbatim what they were doing in high school.
Right.
And so it's like the aspect of, is this life, like every time I'd hang out, it's like, is this life giving? When I'm leaving, I'm feeling like I'm right back in high school.
Yep,
I'm almost
stuck.
like a struggle with maturity. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more immature now leaving than when I came into this situation. And that sounds a little deep, but you know, so for a lot of those reasons, like today, I would like to answer your question a little bit more directly. Like I think maybe one or two that I'd still get together and have a cup of coffee with, do some life with, you know, that I truly care, like, you know, because we're both kind of invested in our lives, in each other's lives. But I think Jordan Peterson is actually, I heard this from him once. I thought it was really interesting. I watched a video. He was speaking. He was saying that they're like in being a lifeguard, there's like an unspoken rule in lifeguarding or whatever, if that's how you would say it, that when there's someone that is drowning, the lifeguard goes out, especially on like a coastal area, like in a beach, the lifeguard goes out to save them, to rescue them. And they get out, they get to the person, and eventually one of two things happens. The person allows the lifeguard to help them, and they can get out together, and they can make it together. Or the person still tries to fight the lifeguard, because what will happen in that scenario is that they'll both drown.
Yeah.
That person will drown, the lifeguard will drown trying to save them, trying to exhaust all their resources and moving forward, and that person's moving in a different direction. And so he applied this scenario. Oh, and sorry, so kind of the unspoken rule with that scenario is that if that happens in that avenue, it then becomes the lifeguard or this person drowning.
Yeah.
And if the person drowning is not going to allow for momentum to happen, to move forward, to survive, they're going to have to let that person drown, because it becomes the lifeguard or that person. They're going to have to let that person go.
Yeah.
And so this whole illustration he uses to apply that to friendship. He applies that to family members. He applies that to acquaintances. And I've kind of I've chewed on that for years
Yeah.
because I've applied that a lot with friendships in life.
Yeah.
Is this going to drown you? Is this harmful to your growth? You know, is this going to keep you in place and put you in that mold of complacency? And so it's kind of a deeper response for that question. But I think about that very, very intensely with like friendships in general, but especially, you know, friendships that are like when you had those friendships, you were like 16, 17, you know, before you're even adult.
Yeah, life was different.
Life was different. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, a couple, but I would say more of my meaningful relationships have been more in adulthood and more of like that, you know, once you kind of build the foundations of who I am, who you are as your identity, I feel like some of the more meaningful relationships that I've founded at that point in life. So anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of deeper, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake's like still friends with all of his like high school friends, but he's basically friends with everybody. He thinks everyone's his friend. But I think like the reason, I mean, I think he was one of those people for a really long time who was like just stuck back in high school and like couldn't move on. And then like COVID kind of changed all that for him. But it's like interesting to see like him with all of his high school friends and me like with like 2 remaining from high school, because he'll always ask like, who's that in that picture, like from like high school stuff. And it's like just interesting to think back about like, okay, like where did that friendship end, like why did it end? Like honestly, I was never someone who had like friend drama. Most girls have a ton of friend drama in high school, middle school and stuff. I never did. I always kept like the same friends for a long time, and like they would honestly just like frazzle out because we would have different like avenues that we were going, especially like when I went to college, because I went to a Christian college. A lot of my friendships just kind of ended because they were going to a party college to party and I just wasn't interested in that. And so we just kind of went like different ways because we had different like goals in life. And now like the friends I have, I can say like are really meaningful friendships. And especially like the ones I have from college. In college, you make a ton of friends and you're close to so many people. But now the remaining ones are like no, those are my like friends that I'm going to be doing life with for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, Caleb, you said something that I think like really stood out, was thinking about in adulthood, like kind of having the ability to like know who you are when you're like choosing friends and stuff, because it's so easy, I think, like when you're younger, you kind of just become friends with whoever's
Proximity.
Whoever's there. And then it's like you start to become what other people are. But in adulthood, I think like when you're doing it right is you go through like a path where you figure out who you are as an individual, and then you become confident in who you are. And then you navigate relationships based off of that. Like you're not just allowing anyone into your life. It's like, no, I have sort of like checks and balances of the type of person that I'm trying to be, and then it gives you the confidence to navigate friendships in a way to where it's like you're building up like you're a part of a group of people that can help you all get to the place where you're trying to go, not just
Yeah, sorry, I just thought something. I have no friends in adulthood. Like you're saying all this stuff, and I'm like, I have no friends that I've made from adulthood from doing that. I want to do that, but I haven't done that yet.
As Nathan and I start crying, we're like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, all right.
Dude,
No.
I'm
we're
gonna
not
start,
friends.
I'm gonna
But
start
that's true.
laughing when you were talking about what you were saying about everything, like with the Jordan Peterson stuff, because I heard like a street sort of like version of that.
A hood version.
It's like if you have 4 friends who are crackheads, you're probably the 5th one. It's like exactly.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I was
it's true.
thinking the whole
It's
time you were
true.
telling that story.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I meant.
Same,
It's the
same thing,
same
just
thing.
different
Just
audiences.
not as poetic.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give up the crack, folks.
Yeah, don't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that though. That's really good.
It's for real,
Yeah, that
bro.
is
If you have 4 friends that are crackheads, most likely you're the
You're the
5th
fifth.
crackhead.
Yeah.
That's going in the bank. That's solid.
That's how I navigate every friendship.
How do I equate this crackhead, to crack? Speaking of that, I had something like a wild thought, like not because I'm a crackhead, but no, I had a wild thought just like about just kind of reflecting the last 10 years, right? In like pop culture, just culture in general. I love movies, and so like cinema culture the last 10, 20 years. Superheroes have been such a big deal, and I think in some ways it's kind of on more of a downslope now. I think there's a lot that are trying to reinvent, or maybe they need to like go towards the R rating or something. so I feel like in a lot of ways, like the whole Marvel thing is kind of teetering a little bit, but
it is.
yeah, I agree.
What's the newest? What was the latest?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wolverine.
That
Oh,
one
that
was good.
I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil
Okay,
it.
I won't
But
spoil it. It's good.
what I was getting around to that is like the fascination with like superpowers and superheroes. And so something I wanted to ask you guys was, it's kind of a weird double-edged sword here, but if you could have a like the first part of this question is, if you could have any superpowers, what would they be? Think about that. Chew on that for a minute, because there's another question coming right under that. Any superpower you could choose, what would it be?
Probably, whatever, Doctor Strange has. Is that what his name is?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because he can like
yeah.
do cool stuff.
Very cool stuff.
Okay, so you'd want to be able to like
Just be a
bend-
wizard.
Because he can like travel through time, can he not? And he's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he's
can,
kind of
like-
like a wizard.
He can like manipulate
Yeah.
gravity and time or
Yeah.
whatever, space time.
I feel
and
like he
gravity.
can do the most,
Space-time.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of why I picked
Interesting.
him.
Power. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan. what do you got?
I don't know why. I've always had like a fascination with thinking about being able to completely freeze time and like function within like a frozen time world. Like if I
Yeah.
could just snap my fingers
Pause
and
it.
everything would freeze and I could still navigate life.
Like draw on people's faces and stuff.
whatever I wanted. Yeah.
I like it. Very
Steel.
nice.
Steal. I'm a villain. Yeah, I'm a villain. I'm full blown villain.
Not fighting a lot of crime with that one. but-
You'd always be on time.
Yeah, I would. What a lame. Oh no, I'm late.
Sleep longer. Yeah, sleep in longer.
That's what I was thinking. You'd always be well rested for
Yeah,
sure.
for real.
I think being able to like see the future, to know the future would be really cool. And like
Scary.
That would
it'd be scary, but like you could know it for everyone's future.
Just close
for-
your eyes 5 minutes in the future. It's just completely black.
Oh no, guys. Yeah, that's the end.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because all those things kind of deal with time or whatever. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's
that's
probably
true.
if anyone would like psychoanalyze our responses,
Yeah.
they'd be like, interesting.
Yeah.
But the second part of that question, okay, so if you could choose to have superpowers, that would be your superpower. But the double-edged portion of that is it comes at a cost. And so it could be any kind of cost, but it's a detriment to your health. So every time you use it, it could be either you are like losing a year of your life every time you use your powers, or like or like it's like a drug addiction or something. So it's like your powers only work if like your powers would only work if like
If you're hot crack, yeah.
if you're just like shooting up,
Kids have all these powers.
if you're getting wet with PCP, you could move mountains.
Dude, literally.
So-
You're a superhero.
so
you
that-
are a wizard. Then.
Time and space do stop.
Just sitting there. Anyway. The snore.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry. What were
I
you saying?
could like just our culture in Muncie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like what's that dude over there doing? He's just like trying to create
He's
a portal.
Doctor Strange it up.
He's trying to go to a different portal right now. Let him be. It'll wear off in 48 hours.
The mitts butt station just whipping. Anyway,
Just like
that's
wearing a
good.
kitchen apron with like Crocs on. That's it.
bro. Anyway,
But so the question with that is like, let's say it had to be some sort of detriment to your health every time you'd use the power. Would you still choose to have the power?
Yeah, I would choose to have it because then if I really needed it for something, I could. If I had to take a year off my life to do like one really good thing, that's fine.
What would that qualify for? What would you give your life a year of your life up for?
To save Mr. Bo. To prevent him from dying.
Oh gosh,
I would go back in time.
sorry I asked. It's crushed again.
It was something like that. Yeah.
What about you, Nathan? What would you give it for?
Like, what would my illness be?
No, what would you be?
I mean, like what?
Yeah, would you be?
You know what?
Would it be
Hold on.
worth to have?
Let's take a step back. What would it be? What would the definitive issue be? Would it be a drug issue, or would it be?
I'm
like
confused
an
by the
illness?
drug issue. So you're saying you would have, if you had one of
You
these
had to
powers.
do
Did you guys
drugs
ever
to
watch
do
the
it.
show Heroes?
No.
No.
Do you guys know about that show though?
No.
So it was a show, I don't know, that came out a while ago. I think it was on NBC, and it was like these people that discovered they had superpowers. Basically, it's kind of like in real life, like not in an alternate universe or whatever. It's just like if they discovered they all had powers. One guy could actually, his name was Hiro. He was Japanese, and he could actually stop time. So there was one guy on like the first season that could see the future. He could paint it. He could only paint scenes of the future, and it came to him when he shot up on heroin. So that's the only time his powers worked, is when he would like shoot up on heroin. And so,
Dude,
that
sounds like every alternative rock band lead singers.
yeah, everyone has superhero powers.
Literally.
So like he was an artist, but he would paint these pictures, and then they started really happening in real life. And so he's like, oh my gosh, I can paint the future, but it came at a cost, because obviously he didn't. He was like trying to go through sobriety.
Yeah.
And it's like they needed his help, but it's like, I don't.
That's dark.
So that's where that comes from. Now, it doesn't have to be this whole situation question doesn't have to be like a drug related thing, but it could be an illness. What would the illness or the circumstance be that it's a detriment to your health? What do you guys think? Like for your superhero power.
I'd take COVID to the head if I had to. If I
COVID?
could freeze time, yeah. I didn't get that bad. It was just a cold.
Yeah.
So if I get to choose,
Yeah, if I could choose, it'd just be like a strand of hair each time, because I have a lot of hair. So
That's
it would take a long
you have a long
time.
time.
I could use my
COVID,
powers a
you're
lot.
just losing a hair.
No, that's good. So you'd lose a strand of hair. So eventually, if you did it enough, you'd go bald.
Yeah, if I did it enough.
That's it. That's it.
It's a good one.
That's it right there.
Yep.
So
is a good
would
one,
you
actually.
choose your powers if eventually you would go bald doing it?
Yeah,
I don't
because I
have-
would stop before I got too bald.
Yeah, I don't have much longer anyway.
Or you
so.
can wear a wig.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely.
I just got what you were
That's
saying.
Is it me, or did that seem like a condescending
Yeah, that
laugh?
was tough. She looked she also was looking at my scalp when she started laughing.
Because I was like, what is he saying? I was like, oh, because he's balding. Okay.
Yes. Thanks, Josie. Oh, because he's balding.
Have you guys ever seen the SpongeBob movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course. Caleb, they needed you as a voice
Dude,
actor.
literally. That was a good one.
Always one guy in the back, like, ball, and there's one guy in the distance. He's like, his eyes are burned out.
Yeah. Dude, I always, the SpongeBob, my leg guy, I hit that all the time. I'll just randomly, my leg! My leg!
There's that scene where they're like, I think it's like Free Sundays or something, and it's like that old lady that ends up being like a whole monster.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like stuck to it.
It's like the tongue.
Yeah.
Dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's literally.
There's that moment
Dude,
where
SpongeBob is wild.
there's that moment where there's the dance off. It's like Patrick and like SpongeBob is just watching him. He's like, yeah, go Pat, go Pat, go Pat. Oh, I've seen that movie way too many times.
I no
It's a good
joke
movie.
used to replay the end of that time and time again where he's like, I'm a goofy gooper. Yeah, dude, I used to replay that over and over again. It gave me chills, bro.
Chills.
Oh my gosh. When he just like, he feels the spirit so much and he just start rotating and he's just annihilating all those bucket heads with the lasers.
It's so good, bro. That movie's so good. It's an
It is
absolute
good.
banger.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the ones that have come since that movie
Not as
because there's
good.
like live action ones, I think, but
Yeah, probably not as good.
that
one,
the
though,
OG one.
so good, bro.
No, it's funny. That made me think. So, Chris Bunch the other day. We're doing a series on Friends, as we know, and so he was like, "I'm trying to think of some like iconic like best friend duos and stuff."
Yeah.
So the first one that came to mind was SpongeBob and Patrick.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, but if you want like I don't know, like more like normal, not cartoon ones, like I
Yeah.
gave him a list of them, but I was just like, that's probably one of the most iconic like friend
literally.
duos is SpongeBob and Patrick.
I can't even think of another one now.
Lloyd Christmas and Harry, Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, come on, buddy.
Yeah, and I put like, I tried to put like ones from like
Birds' heads
popular
are falling
shows
off.
like from Friends, Monica and Rachel and like stuff like that. But
Oh,
yeah,
I would tell you what. Oh, brother, where art thou? That is a good buddy like a buddy.
It's
buddy,
old, right? Is that an
comedy.
older one?
Oh, it's not that old.
Who's the lead in it?
George Clooney.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
2000. That's the year I was born.
Yeah, well, old for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the year you were born?
I was born 2000. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Have you never seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
No.
Easily one of the most
I've definitely seen like clips from it though.
It's like easily one of the most quotable movies. If you ever watch that movie, there's just like 1.5 million things that happen that are quotable. So, oh yeah, so good. It's just
I
like,
love George Clooney, so I'll watch it.
yeah, it is. He's fantastic in it too.
I bet.
Yeah, and I just there's so many
What?
quotes.
He's awesome.
Well, I think Nathan and I would think his acting abilities
Yeah,
are pretty awesome.
Yes, his acting is good. He's like one of the best actors.
I bet.
Sounds a little breathy
And
over
he
there,
was younger,
Josie.
so he probably looks really good in it too.
Glasses are getting a little steamed up. George, come on in. Come on.
And we're bringing George in today.
As a guest on Happy Tree,
Welcome.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. It's George Clooney.
He'd go for that, right?
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, well, we contacted his agents 3 weeks ago. We haven't heard back.
Ghosted.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Thanks, George. Hey, if you guys don't mind, I kind of like wrote something for Josie's Corner. I thought maybe we could just throw some lines down before.
Okay.
Would you guys be?
Yeah.
Would you guys be cool with that? All right, cool.
Let's hear it.
All right, this is just the top of my head. She's a tech whiz, got no kids, red hair, doesn't care, computer skills that amaze, relevant cultural thrills for days. It's time for Josie's Corner.
Wow. I'm just
That was
sobbing.
amazing.
Camera pans to me just
Yeah.
bawling.
There's never been a better song written about Josie than that one.
Thank you.
There's a lot of songs with Josie's name in it, actually.
There is.
Yeah.
Your mom is really popular in a lot of states, by
Yeah.
the way. That sounded...
What?
You're gonna have to probably cut that one out. This song, Josie's Mom, is what I was referencing. But after that's all I was trying to
What about Rebecca? What?
What about Rebecca? Got her on my first
Gosh, dude.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
oh my goodness.
And I just realized it's not just it's Stacy's mom.
Yeah.
So to even add more to the confusion. Oh no!
Oh,
Judah.
Well,
I'm sweating.
okay, so, well,
Dude, your face.
Let's just take that from the beginning.
no, that beautiful song was so incredible, and I have a game that has to do with music.
right.
So it's called Taylor Swift or a White Man. So
Oh,
kind of like the Bob
boy.
Ross game, we have to guess if Taylor Swift said it in one of her songs, or if
Okay.
it was by like a white man.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it.
Taylor Swift or White Man?
Yeah, Taylor Swift or a white man.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
there's 95. We're not going through all 95. We'll just go through however many we feel like.
Okay.
But crescent moon, coast is clear, spring breaks loose, but so does fear. Taylor Swift or highly praised male author?
Oh, that's Taylor Swift. I think. Taylor Swift, I'm going to say.
Couldn't tell you, but I'll just
It
go
is
with the
Taylor
opposite
Swift.
one.
If it's
Okay.
not, I'm not a real fan.
It was, yeah.
Why, darling, I don't live at all when I'm not with you.
That seems like something Taylor would say, since we're best friends.
No, I'm going to.
I don't think it is,
I'm
but
gonna
I might
say-
be wrong.
I'm going to say highly praised male author.
Are we doing this as a team?
Kinda. It's a.
Josie, you should know all
I mean-
these. You're like the biggest Taylor Swift fan there is.
Probably.
Yeah, but some of them might be tricky because she says a lot of big words now in her new songs.
Oh,
so,
boy.
well, I'll keep track in editing
words.
who's winning. But I'm gonna say the white guy. Yeah.
The white guy.
Okay. Your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush, and your flannel cure.
Yeah, that's Taylor Swift for
Yeah,
sure.
it's Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, obviously. It's
Obviously,
Taylor Swift.
clearly.
It's from Champagne Problems.
Yeah.
If I can name the song too, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It's Champagne Problems.
Just to clarify.
I will praise any man that will praise me.
Ooh, that's not good. Whoever
That's
said
not
that, that
good.
seems toxic.
Seems like a white male would say
Yeah,
that.
I don't think Taylor Swift will ever say that about man.
I love how you said this game's white male and it says highly praised male
Well, that's
author.
what it's called at the top.
That's what it.
See,
Okay.
or white man. See, it's
Okay.
what it's called.
All right.
Okay, don't waste your love on somebody who doesn't value it.
Seems like some a woman would say, so maybe Taylor Swift.
No, I think that's a dude.
Yeah, I don't think it is Taylor Swift. Let's go.
What was it? I can't
It was
see.
a
It
male
was a
author.
white
Or was
guy.
it?
You think you're crushing it. You just
Ah,
have
he
no
must-
clue what's
he's
All
happening.
He's
right,
probably
from
born a
what
woman.
I've tasted of desire, hold with those who favor fire.
Okay.
I don't think that was Taylor Swift, but I might be wrong.
From what I've. Yeah. Ew. Tasted of desire. I don't like that.
Ew.
I don't like that
I
one.
don't think it was Taylor Swift, but
From what I've tasted
Of
or
desi-
of
of-
desire, hold
I
with
hold
those who favor
fire.
fire.
I'm going to say male.
I feel like everything I'm like the ones that I pick are the opposite. So yeah, let's go Taylor because it's probably the male.
nope, it was a male.
Yeah.
Yep.
Time turns flames to embers.
That's Taylor,
Taylor.
Swift.
Yeah, that's Taylor from her song Innocent.
I'm kind of sad how much of these I actually know.
Yeah, you know a lot of them. I wish to know the fatal flaw that makes you so
way she
long
said
to
that.
be magnificently cursed.
White male.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Taylor Swift, but I don't know. Yeah, it was Taylor Swift. I don't know which song that's from, but
You're
I
for real.
knew
They're
that was
getting
Taylor.
big.
Jeez.
I never had the courage of my convictions as long as danger is near.
White male.
I never had the courage of my.
Josie, what is it? Is it Taylor?
I think it's Taylor, and it's either from her song "Sad, Beautiful, Tragic" or "Treacherous."
I'm going to go white male. Dang.
I was right.
Heck.
Is it romantic how all my elegies eulogize me?
I hope that's not Taylor.
It is.
It is
But
Taylor.
let's go with
it's
Taylor.
from her new album.
Gosh, dude.
That's in a song or is that like a
Yeah.
statement she said?
No, it's a song.
Oh, okay.
Just
All
casually
my
dropped that in an
allergies.
interview.
I could probably get every single one of these right. There's 95 of them. I probably would get them right. Maybe I'll try that later. Yeah, by myself at home. Jake will be like, "What are you doing? Guessing whether or not Taylor or White Man said this." Well, now you guys know more Taylor Swift lyrics. There you go.
Julep, pop, 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 julep, pop, 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 julep, pop, pop.